Of course. Again, this is structured like an interview, but again, it's a podcast.
Sorry.
So it's more discussion based. I'll be casting doubt on your your beliefs and but
yeah, feel free to do so.
yeah. So I mean, you could just look at my eyes, although I'll be like.
No, it's fine. It's okay. Hi everyone, my name is Balsam and I come from Sudan and I am year 13. No, I'm year 12 right now. And I said yes because I said yes before I watched my okay. Mm-hmm. Wait, why did I say yes? Yeah, because I love conversations and I've talked to Louis before and I know kind of his mentality and the way he thinks. So I'm just comfortable enough to sit here and do this conversation with him, and that's why I said yes. Yeah. And I watched Mace's episode. It was perfect, and he's the best editor ever. Yeah.
And podcast host. Anyways, going in. Let us begin this very fateful discussion. First question. What if time slowed down for just 1 hour each day? What would you choose to do in that hour? Just for you. Nobody else. You get your own little pocket dimension that you could just, 1 extra hour each day.
That would be very beneficial for me. I really need it. But I think I would dedicate this hour for my family, and my friends back home, because I feel like I'm not reaching out to them as much as I should, and I would use this hour to, reconnect with them and just talk to them more. And yeah.
Because I've gotten different answers. The most prominent one being sleep. I need more sleep.
I might sleep, yeah.
More sleep. But family, honestly, I'll probably do that too.
Yeah.
Have you ever is this your first boarding school?
Yeah, it's my first boarding school. And back in Sudan, we are very connected. When I say my family, I don't just me and my father, my siblings and stuff.
So your entire
my aunts, my second class aunt, my third class aunts and uncles and my cousins, and it's just a very massive group of people who are we're just very connected together. And that's what I mean by family. So.
And are you in good relations with all of them? Or are some
Well, actually, obviously not all of them, but I feel like there's always this kind of respect between us, especially when when we were in Sudan all together and we were used together. I was still considered as a kid or as a teenager, So I always have this limit or this border of respect to each other. I might disagree with them. I might not be blend up very well with some of them, but we always had this respect.
And do you think this is a cultural thing or a more personal thing?
Yeah, it's a cultural thing.
I see. I had a Sudanese/Chinese friend in Changshu. She also said she invited me to go to Sudan, and she says, bro, you need to go there. The people there, you go there, you will never not find your way. Just ask anyone, they'll invite you into their house and eat food with them. So that's true.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. You could literally just walk on the street and knock any door and they will invite you for a dinner or a dining table or just a conversation, a cup of tea or stuff. And the people are very hospitable.
Yeah.
Hospitable and they're just so kind of sweet.
Such a
and they they love life so much. They're vibing music and they go crazy all the time and stuff. We don't drink, we don't consume alcohol and stuff, but we're just crazy all the time. So yeah, it's one thing about Sudanese people as well.
I see. It's a very, very cosmopolitan city.
Yeah.
It should be more popular.
It should be.
So you mentioned that even with further or distant family members, you still maintain a level of respect towards them. Do you think that you are obligated to maintain certain relationships with your family members, even if those family members are very distant? You've only ever seen once on your birthday or something.
I see. I mean, honestly, it depends, because for some certain members, like as you said, I might just have seen them a couple of times and I'm not really, connected with them.
But you're
like,
told that they're part of your family.
Yeah, I was told that they are part of their family, and like at least I've got one memory with them that makes me like appreciate the fact that they're a family member. But like there are also certain occasions like Eid, like for example Independence Day and stuff. Like I should go to them and like reach out to them and say like Happy Eid and stuff and Eid Mubarak and those kind of stuff. So sometimes it's obligatory to reach out, and sometimes it just depends on me.
Okay, so you would say for more formal festivals, you are as a younger child, you are obligated to pay respect and visit to the seniors.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how it works.
So it sounds like this notion of respect is like and reverence, basically. Perhaps piety, like filial piety, like how loyal you are to your family is held at high regard. So is like for your family, is there like an honor-based system, or is it just like tradition?
Like what exactly?
Like for you, okay, let's say 1 year, right? Independence Day. Let's say you just don't feel like it. I don't know, something happens, you just, what? Next year. And you don't go.
Yeah.
You don't visit your relatives. What would they think of you? Like, would it be like, oh, she didn't come? Or would they like write it off as, oh, she didn't come, she probably has something else? Or would they say like, bro, this is such a big disrespect to our lineage. Like, what the hell is she even doing? Like,
I see. Like, I mean, if I did so, and like, I think I did it multiple times. Like, there are some occasions that I really can't, or maybe like I have an exam tomorrow and something. They like the very close people to me, they can excuse me, like they can understand it. But like the people who are just like there, they'll be like, oh, what? Why is he not coming and stuff like this? They won't excuse me at all, and like they would blame my mom as well. Like even here, like we had like a Eid a couple of weeks ago, and I wasn't able to text everyone and like call everyone and stuff. So like there are some people who I didn't write to them, and they reached out to my mom and they were like, your daughter, she forgot us and blah 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 and stuff. Like they wouldn't understand like how busy am I or something like this. So yeah.
I see. So the decisions, the decision to send you off to a boarding school abroad is a very controversial topic in your family.
Very much.
Ooh.
There are still some people who are calling me and it's like, just communicating that you shouldn't go there. Like, I just feel that you don't need to go. Like,
Like, what is their rationale for like saying that?
Like,
What do you think?
I don't know. I think like I went in a pretty young age, like comparing to other cousins who like, went out and migrate for education or like for job or for whatever. So like, they still think that like, I'm gonna, for example, forget my heritage. I'm gonna forget them. I don't know. And that's kind of stuff.
I don't think you do. I don't think you forget anything. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Good stuff. All right. Is there anything you used to take for granted as a child? Let's say perhaps a routine, a belief, or like a place you used to go that feels very different to you now that you've been like out here and you've experienced new things. Is there like something that you used to think is completely average, completely normal, but right now
I feel as you grow up a lot of things change, like the way that you view things change very much. So I guess a lot of things that changed from my childhood and stuff, but the things that, and I can't really think about something in particular, but I guess I'm definitely sure that like the things change, my routines, for example, or my like how do I deal with the family member or stuff. It's just because like I think I learned to appreciate things more, like the small things and stuff. And when you really appreciate the thing, you feel really attached to it and you feel really connected to it, so you cannot experience it the same thing before, So
I see.
Yeah, that's what I think that's changed within me.
All right, so you learn to appreciate things more because you now see things in a broader perspective.
Yeah, you can say.
There's something interesting, like, so I guess you would agree to the saying that you never realize what you have until you've lost it.
Yeah. Yeah, very much.
I see. Now, in the case of like experiences, it would be something like you never realize what you experienced until you think about it again.
Yeah.
So for example, for me, when I was small, my parents, they took me all across Europe, or at least like we visited so many hotels, so many like landmarks, like tourist attractions, everything. But I forgot like most of them. Like some aspects did stick. Like I now have a deeper appreciation for like medieval European architecture, and like the fantasy genre, like in general.
Yeah.
But I've forgotten like most of the museum visits. Would you say that context, like knowledge, again, like a change in perspective, would you say that knowledge factors in a lot on this quote unquote regret that goes into it? So for example, when I was small, I went to a lot of museums. I looked at a lot of artworks.
Yeah.
I saw them, big yellow, dashes of red,
Yeah.
good form, yeah. Would you say, but then now that I look at it, oh bro, that's Van Gogh. Like, would you say that looking at things with context is more enriching than looking at things without context?
I feel like definitely yes, because like as you just said, like you know, when you know the history of this like art piece, oh my god, when you look at this piece and you know the history of it or the context of it, you appreciate it more and you admire it more. And it's, I think as you just said, it's the same with the life experiences. Like, you know, if I just like went to you and just like yelled at you, like, and you don't know anything about me, you don't know how my day was and stuff, you would, you know, form this perception about me, whatever it was. But like, if you know that I've been through like a bad day or something, you would, you know, you would change like the way that you would react, perhaps, you know what I mean? So yeah, context is definitely important. Yeah.
Okay, but if you think about it, context creates bias, right?
Yeah.
Like if you look at, let's say Pablo Picasso, right? Picasso's a big womanizer. Like he sucks as a person, but his paintings are pretty famous, right?
Yeah.
If you approach a Picasso would you rather approach a Picasso painting with no knowledge of the artist and just pure, like first impressions of the artwork,
Yeah.
or would you approach the artwork with background knowledge of Picasso and the artist?
I would rather pick the second choice, which is like, you know, with the knowledge and stuff. Because like, even if I formed a bias or something, like biases are not always bad thing, you know? Like,
Could you explain?
like for example, like for me, when I want to learn about a new thing or like, you know, something that I didn't really know about it before, I'm like, you know, I'm avoiding like, you know, I'm avoiding forming any kind of biases or stuff. I'm absorbing the thing and then I form my opinion. When you have a bias towards something, then you have an opinion that you could stand for, you know? So
I
like
see.
being biased towards something is like you standing up for a case, you know what I mean?
Okay, I get you,
Yeah.
you. Why do you think that people need like a cause to like root for?
They don't really need, but like it's a personal thing, I guess. And
Okay.
like for me, I was always wondering about like, you know, the purpose of life. I'm not like being deep or something, but like it's just like, you know, we're here for a purpose. Then what's the purpose of me? Like, who am I or something? Like, I'm just, in order to understand myself, I'm understanding my surroundings more, and I'm forming something. Like I'm forming opinion according to them, and then like those opinions are somehow glimpses of myself. And then if I know where I'm standing in each field, I know myself more.
I see. Well, let's look at this thing from another perspective, shall we? So you mentioned the purpose of life.
Yeah.
Let's look at it from a larger perspective of determinism.
Okay.
Right? Let's say, would you rather that one day,
Yeah.
right? One day, humans, they discover God or like a big book. Now, on that book lists the fates of every single individual in this world.
Okay.
So everything is like, people find out that everything that has happened to them is happening to them and ever will happen to them has already been determined.
Okay.
Has already been set in stone. They're only walking the scripts of some higher dimensional being.
Okay.
Would you rather that happen? Because again, that would basically give them like, oh, that's my purpose of life, right?
yeah.
Would you rather that happens?
Well, actually, it's kind of interesting because, like, as a Muslim, we believe in fate. We believe that everything was written in a perceived tablet, and like like our future, our past, and things are meant to be like this. But like, it's beside the divine will of like Allah, let's say, like in my case. We have, as a human, the free will to do to choose our reactions for things. Like, for example, there are some stuff that are up to us that we can control them, which are our opinions, our actions to stuff and stuff. And there are some things that are not up to us and we don't have authority over them, and that's the fate, basically, And then I was saying that, like, we believe in the divine will, but we also believe that we as humans have a free will to do whatever, and we have a moral responsibility towards our actions, and that's why we search for purpose.
So I think this is very interesting. You mentioned morals. So would you say that people stand up for causes, people fall into causes based on their own morals, driven by their own morals?
I guess yes. Yeah, definitely. But like, there are some extreme situations where, like, you cannot stand up for your own morals, and like you have to compromise your beliefs to do something else.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, I mean, yeah, true. Is there a tradition or cultural practice you didn't fully appreciate growing up, but now feel more connected to?
Like a traditional thing.
Yeah, like any or like a personal ritual or whatever.
It's food. Like back in Sudan, like we used to eat like a cultural food, like weekly or something like this. But like I would always like see it as a just routine. I wouldn't I wouldn't really feel connected with it because like it's just there whenever I want it. But like here, when I came here, like I really miss the food. It's just like the flavor and the smell and the textures. It's just not the same here. So like it's pretty different. So
yeah, that happened to me too. Like the rice they make here. Like I love the Mensa staff, but like the rice.
I see.
In China we had special like pressure chambers that we put the rice in, and then so it comes out like a bit puffy and like very like the exterior is a bit soft, but the interior is chewy. But then here it's just
I remember Angel, my roommate, she made me fried noodles. It was my first time to try them. It's just delicious.
I think they put too little spice here.
Yeah,
way too little spice.
I agree. We also use a lot of spices.
All they use, salt, maybe soy sauce. No, wait, no soy sauce.
I don't really feel it.
No, like sugar.
And pepper, you have to add it yourself. Like it's not really.
Yeah, they only use like the shaky shakies.
Yeah,
none of the oily or like the liquid sauces. Yeah, that's something. That's something I miss dearly. I think a big cultural tradition for me, it would be New Year, Chinese New Year. That was like one of the biggest things like of the year, So this is the only year where I didn't celebrate it. I did celebrate it with like the comedy with which is like a dinner, but usually there's like a whole break and everything. And I get to go back to like my grandparents' house. They'll make me dumplings and everything. But now it's just nothing, and I think that is something I gave up after traveling abroad.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something I took for granted, but now I miss it very dearly.
I see. But like, do you think reconnecting with your parents in such occasions or stuff like can bring you something, like when you video call them, for example, or when you like attend the whole event just like with a video call or something like this, wouldn't it be more gentler,
Ooh, that's a good question. Now I want to say that it should not be like this, because if you are already in good relations with your parents, then you shouldn't really have to use like a ritualistic event or ceremony to like boost the connection.
That's
but
true.
in reality, right, connection, even like the strongest connection between parent and child, it sort of fades once you don't see them like physically, like in like tangible form, like when you can't touch them.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
like, so yeah, I think it's something that we shouldn't need, but we need very desperately.
Yeah,
that
that's true.
reconnection.
I agree.
Especially, and I think in medieval times, like in like hundreds of years earlier, when these traditions first started, it was for the very purpose of like for people to like go back and like reconnect. So I think it's. Do you believe in genetic memory?
What's that exactly?
So, do you believe that inside your DNA contains the memories and lived experiences of every single ancestor?
I don't think so. I think it's something that you learn, you know?
I see.
Yeah, it's not something within. Because like you see that like the people or like the cousins from your family who they didn't live with you, like for example in China or like in the same city, they probably didn't experience the same thing that you did, and didn't learn the same thing about your ancestors, which like, you know, are considered to be the same. And I think it's something that you learned. It's not something within.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, either way, even if it's not dormant, it's something you learn.
Yeah.
Like it's still, the tradition is still there,
Yeah.
built upon like childhood. So you still yearn for that reconnection, that ceremonial reconnection.
That's
so yeah,
true.
that's
true.
very good answer. Very good answer. Was there a story, film, or piece of media that made you aware of another way of living? Let's say in a different culture or with a different mindset or rhythm or pace to living. Define it however you want.
I actually like that question. I would say the ancient Arab poetry books. Like it's just captivating. It's just like on another level. Like the way that the poetry talks about, like, you know, the way that people used to live, used to dream, used to love. It's just like in another level. It's like literally force you to live whatever that they live. And like it also talks about historical events and like very, you know, very deeply rooted in like in us as an Arab. Like it's rarely that you meet an Arab person and they don't like, you know, the poetry or something. So I would say the Arab rhythms are very good. I just like that.
When I was in Changshu, again, you remember my talk with my Arab friend. So she enlightened me with like Arabic phrases.
Ooh.
There's like 40 ways to say like love in Arabic.
That's true.
Like mixed together, combined combinations into like poetry.
Yeah.
I think that's right now on like on the perspective of like a wannabe poet / author. That is very impressive. Like analysis wise, whew.
It is very impressive.
However, like personally,
Yeah.
I don't like poetry, especially not historical Chinese poetry.
Okay.
There's this thing in curriculums that we learn called 文言文, which basically means ancient texts that are written in ancient Chinese that would need to be translated. So, like parables and like little myths told.
I see.
Repeating what people 500, 600 years ago have said. And I think that is a form of stagnation.
Yeah, I see.
But what do you think?
I feel like it's necessarily necessarily to learn from the dead ones, because like I feel they already had their experiences, and it's like, you know, you have like a whole life of someone just like, and you know, being served to you in a plate of gold, let's say, or something like this. So I feel it's necessary, and it's kind of connected to the thing that we were talking about context and how context is important. So like when you learn about the history of something, or when you learn about someone's experiences or something, I feel like it's necessary to appreciate it even more again, you know. And
I see.
Yeah, I was kind of lost in this question. What was the question again?
The question is,
Is it
some down, some down. Do you think delving too deeply into the past leads to stagnation? Cultural, societal.
I think yes. Yeah. Because like it's kind of like the heritage, no? Like, you know.
Yeah, like if we hold, like, do you think that if we hold on to our cultural heritage too deeply, it would undermine our efforts to progress?
Well, it depends on the way that you hold it with. Like, you know, like it depends. I don't want to say the intention, but like there are some people who, like, you know, who are strictly just like, you know, reference to their culture and everything, even though it might be wrong, or like even though it might be not relevant, you know what I mean? But like there are some people who use it to sort of revisionize it, you know, or like sort of learn how to deal with their present with it. And that's the way that I like to view my culture or like my heritage.
I see.
Yeah.
But again, there must be like irrational followers in there.
Yeah.
So when do you think, when does loyalty to like ritual or ceremony become radical or too much? Like how do you measure it?
It's like when you go on a debate with someone, like if you agree with them or you disagree with them in something, and then you ask them to, like, you know, defend their claim, which are mainly just like their claim is just reference from their culture or something, and they couldn't defend the claim, but they still stick to it, and they're like, you know, blindly saying that it's true, it's right, and you cannot, like, you don't have the right to criticize it and stuff. I think it's like, you know, it's too much, and you should just step out of this and stuff.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Well, if I were to define it, I would say like loyalty to ceremony becomes too much when that loyalty interferes with one's enjoyment of life. However,
Okay.
one, right? Like that individual one. Would you say that this one, like their enjoyment of life, do you think that should be regarded through a objective lens, so through an external lens, how others perceive if they're enjoying it, or like how what they're doing is causing others enjoyment, or do you think that's solely to themselves?
I feel like there's no absolute joy, like, you know, in the word, and there's like you cannot enjoy something fully because there's always a limitation of it, like, you know. Like, for example, once I cross my line into your comfort, for example, by just having fun, I don't think it's like it's permissible anymore. So I think, I think there's no like an absolute joy or thing.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. Have you ever been surprised by how your values, your instincts clashed with someone else's?
Pretty much, yeah. And going again back to my family, like, you know, we used to, in the gathering, we used to sit around and discuss like everything, literally politics, music, religion, like pretty much everything about life. And like, we know that we're not gonna convince each other. We know that we always have this kind of disagreement, like, you know. And I'm just always surprised, but like we are all the whole family, like at least we need to stick to one ideology or something like this. But I was always surprised that no, we always have this sort of disagreement and this sort of tension between, like, you know, everyone hold tight to their beliefs and stuff.
And would you say that this diversity in mindset slash belief is better than a unified system of belief?
I think it depends. Diversity is a good thing, but like when you mistreat it, or like when it becomes a sort of conflict, it's not like a good thing anymore. But like unity, or like for example a unified belief or something, it's also a good thing when you, like, you know, want to share your experience, or want to share, like, it makes it easier for you and the people around you to understand each other's, because like
I see.
Yeah.
I see. I get it. So that's with your family.
Yeah.
How about after coming here? Have you experienced like culture shock, right?
Yeah, culture shock. Okay. First of all, culture shock in food. First of all,
food,
how
yes,
could they
yes.
eat this food? How could they eat it? And second thing, I really cannot think of anything today. Wait. I feel like here is different because like you always have this freedom of like, you know, talking about your beliefs or like your opinions, standing up for your opinions and stuff, and they are mostly respected, and like they're mostly being heard or like, for example, understood fully and stuff. So I think it's kind of different. Like I cannot remember like a certain tension or like a certain conversation in like disagreement or something between me and a friend, but I feel it was always respected, and that way I don't like, you know.
I see. How about like a clash of values? Like if you thought, or if your friend thought doing something was completely normal, completely okay, but you sort of thought that was okay, maybe that's a little bit weird or offensive maybe. Were there ever a case where that happened?
I don't think so, because like I might also be practicing some things that they are morally wrong with them, and
I see.
but yeah, I think as long as they didn't directly affect me, I don't mind, and I can't really remember.
I see. Would you say, would you support? Okay, first of all, what do you think of culture shock? What are your opinions on culture shock? Do you think it should be like? Do you think that it should just be gotten rid of?
Culture shock.
Yeah.
I think why would they be gone? No.
Like, do you think they should just
No.
like? Why?
I think they're. You know, like when there's something that you don't really mind, you know, and that doesn't really bother you. I think they are necessary for learning. Like, we learn a lot by, you know, being surprised. So, yeah.
Necessary for learning.
Yeah.
I feel like this is sort of going into that one GIF territory where we talked about like, what if we eradicated all borders and formed like one giant thing?
Yeah.
So would you say that the only way to eradicate culture shock is through colonialism or assimilation? Let's say you would not be, okay, simple phrase, you would not be surprised when you go to a different place if that place acts the same way as the place you came from, because it's all one now. There's no difference in cultures, hardly any differences in languages. The people there eat similarly, and mindsets, beliefs, religion also similar. The whole world is just one big country.
Well, I personally don't believe in absolute universalism, and like I don't think this would ever be like the case with us, like as a, you know, the people who live in this globe, at least nowadays. And I mean, it would be nice, you know, to have like a sort of one nation that's just like lives in the same place. But like it's also more beautiful to learn about other different things, and it's also more joyful.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. I feel like there's an interesting sentiment going on right now. So personally, since I'm a big enthusiast in the pop culture / media, like that field, there's one way right now, currently, the only way for us to achieve absolute universalism,
which is?
in terms of like Earth. Right? Let's say we haven't like gone out and colonized Mars or something, just Earth.
Okay.
There's one way only to ensure absolute universalism, and that is an alien invasion, a threat to the entirety of humanity as a whole, to our species, not our race. So I think how we can achieve absolute universalism is escalating the scale from an ethnical standpoint into a standpoint about species. I think, but then we're currently like the apex predators. We're like top of the food chain. We're the only ones posing threats to ourselves currently. So far. Yeah. But if there were like an external threat, then the entirety of Earth would probably adopt like a realist mindset, you know?
Maybe.
Because we'll need to defend ourselves, right, from an alien threat, and then universalism can be achieved.
I feel like in order to defend ourselves, we will we would compromise some of us, and that's our mindset. That's why I don't believe there's gonna be another
I
university.
see.
But like, yeah, I see where.
What do you think maturity really means?
Self-awareness.
Self-awareness.
I feel like when you really know who you are, what are you standing for, who are your people, and how to deal with the people who do not vibe with you, and like you know where is your comfort and how to entertain yourself. You are mature in my book.
Would you say that narcissists are mature?
Narcissists, which are
Like, I love my bro. I'm the best. Like, bro, like you suck compared to me. Like,
I mean, there's always gonna be this line of respect if they're not respecting like the other people, because
Yeah.
like you know how we talk about the borders and stuff.
So imagine like a person who thinks that they're the best in this entire world, and like sort of mocks other people for being not as good. A narcissist.
No.
So they're not mature.
No, I don't think they are mature. Yeah.
But there can be self-aware narcissists.
Yeah, that's true actually.
So biggest example, right, in pop culture again, Tony Stark, Iron Man. He is a self-aware narcissist. He has admitted many times that he's a narcissist.
Okay.
So he knows that he's a narcissist.
Yeah.
He's self-aware in that sense. Is he mature?
Can we shift from Tony Stark? Can we shift talking from Tony Stark? I cannot really say a word about him. He's my celebrity crush. I'm not gonna say
okay.
anything. Yeah.
Okay. Well, like, that's an
But, like,
example
yeah,
of
that's right,
a self-aware narcissist.
I mean, we don't really call them like, mature, but like they are very self-aware. And
Would you say self-awareness makes someone mature, or it makes them interesting?
self-awareness, I guess it makes them interesting now, because like, yeah, I didn't thought about like the perspective where how do they deal with the people that are less than them, but like I feel like when you are self-aware, at least I guess they're making you're an interesting person.
Yeah, because maturity in most senses of the word means a prioritization. Is that even a word? So it means prioritizing stability, security, right? Maturity in most definitions of the word.
Okay.
Whereas self-awareness, it's not limited to these things, right?
Yeah.
So would you say that self-awareness is more for interest than for maturity? And if that's the case, what quality does it take for one to be mature?
With that being said, I guess maturity is now like my perception of it. It's like in levels, Self-awareness is the center of it, it's the very first stage. But then it comes like the other thing, like with how do you deal with the people around you, or for example, how do you defend your borders, or how do you respect the other people's borders? And I guess self-awareness is an important thing, and it's essential for maturity, but it's not everything, as you just pointed out.
So from what I heard, it seems like you're describing more awareness than self-awareness. So you're aware of other people's boundaries and your own boundaries, so a general awareness. Is that what you're going for?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now in this case, awareness, right? Awareness, it's a synonym for being intellectual. For wiseness.
Yeah.
So would you say an intellectual person who is aware is mature?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff. What if you had all the time and energy in the world? What's something you've always wanted to learn just for the joy of it, or just because you wanted to?
Just because I wanted to.
Yeah.
I guess sports.
Sports.
Yeah.
Any in particular?
Nothing in particular, but anything apart from wrestling or boxing. I don't want any direct pain. No.
I see.
What about you?
Me? So if for me, I want to learn 3D animation and make my own animated series.
Ooh, that's very good. That's very interesting, actually.
I think as a and like expand like the world and stuff. I think most creatives would give the same answer I'm giving, because if you have a world and characters that you're invested in, you would want to see more of them, right?
Yeah,
You want to see
true.
more of them like on different sorts of medias. That's why like a lot of creatives
Yeah.
in the end, like they start like signing deals for like shows, animated shows, movies, video games,
Yeah.
like spin-offs and everything, like and it's like the constant pursuit for more content for themselves to satiate their own hunger for what they've made. I think that is the ultimate pursuit of creativity. That is, you're pursuing it and you're consuming it. In like, so for people who create things, not really creative people, but in general, people who create things, they're in constant debate
Yeah.
if they should consume or if they should create. Should I watch this show instead of writing? Or should I write instead of watch this show? If I watch this show, I could possibly get inspired and write greater things. But if I write but if I do that, I might not write. If I write now, I would get more content out that I wanted. But it would mean like losing the potential inspirations. So we're in constant debate of what we should do. If I had infinite time and energy in a world, I would do both.
That's nice. Actually, it's my first time to listen to this sort of perspective about creativity or like creating things. And I guess it's very interesting. Like
I call it the writer's dilemma. So, or the creative's dilemma. So you could only choose one. You either sit back and look at something others have made,
or you either create.
or you make it yourself.
Yeah, I see.
And for creative people who have achieved a certain level of like proficiency in their field, it becomes an even bigger struggle, right? Because when you're looking at when you're consuming, right, you're looking at stuff, you will be thinking to yourself, hey, I could write a character like that. Hey, I could draw that actually. Hey, what? I think I know how that works. Like, you constantly say to yourself, I know how to do that. I could make it. But since you're not making it right now, you feel guilty and everything. And that's that you fall into like a big, oh, what should I do? What should I do?
I see.
The creative's dilemma.
I see.
Yeah.
So as a creator, have you experienced like, I don't know how do you call it in your field, but like this kind of block situation where you cannot think anymore, you cannot produce anything more?
Oh yeah, of course. Writer's block is one of the biggest like road kills, for writers, and any sort of creatives. So writer's block, I could go into a whole rabbit hole on this, but long story short, I got into a rabbit hole for like 3-4 years, before like Changshu, so before last year, because I keep getting inspired by new things, and I keep starting new stories and never finishing them, which is really depressing, to never finish something, to never like just be able to pull out a piece of work and say, look, I made this and I'm proud of this, because you've never finished anything. And that's what gave me writer's block. And yeah, you basically burn out, for a writer, you burn out 2 ways, I think. One, you burn out by realizing that you don't have the skills.
Yeah.
You can fix this through practice, but usually when you realize that you don't have the skills or like not the time, you would start convincing yourself, right? Okay, should I do this? Oh, but I don't have enough skills. Maybe like tomorrow. But if it's like tomorrow, like I don't know, like that happens like that. So yeah, writer's block, it exists. I think these sort of blocks exist everywhere, but yeah, no comments. Yeah,
I see. And what is the other thing? You said like you burn out first from recognizing that maybe you don't have enough skills. And what's the other thing?
Oh yeah, the other thing, I think the other thing is again, too many passions.
Yeah.
So, like, there's gotta be a balance, and that's why, time is like a big villain, big evil guy in like for creatives. Like you have so many hobbies, so many inspirations, so many stories you want to start, so many characters you want to make, but you never have time to make them. And by the time you make one up, you already have a better, bigger, larger, brighter character.
I see.
And so you move on to the next without finishing. So inspiration and time.
Yeah, I see. And have you experienced that with like, multiple passions thingy, like with different tasks, for example?
Oh yeah. So not just writing.
Yeah, not just
So for me, I like to read. I draw occasionally.
Yeah.
And I write. So there was a time like a few months ago where I started a comic, right?
Yeah.
I got really inspired after reading like this very indie comic.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make my own. So I started doing like the comics and stuff. But then I spent so much time on those comics, those panels, that I no longer had time to do like on my writing. So I need to balance that writing too. But then I saw like my books laying about and say, I need to read them.
Yeah.
So it's a constant struggle between your hobbies. One way to solve it is like time blocking, whatever, like I'm gonna like read on Mondays and Sundays, and I'm gonna draw on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and whatever. But you don't really do that, right? For creatives, you don't really do that. You're more spontaneous, at least for me.
I see.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Good stuff. This will be an interesting question, this next one. A stranger comes into your room and tells you to go on a journey. They do not specify what type of journey it is and how long it would take. They guarantee your physiological safety though, so you will probably not die of starvation, hydration, dehydration, no shelter, blah blah blah. So you're probably safe, secure.
Okay.
But that's it. That's all they guarantee. They only permit you to take 3 items. What do you take?
I mean, I'm not going anywhere. Like, I would never.
Like, if they force you.
Oh my god, no. I mean, it's gonna be like a huge thing for me to just like convince myself to go, or for example, to understand that I'm under like, an authority and I have to go or something. It's gonna be a huge part. But like, only 3 items.
Yeah.
I guess my phone for emergency, and like my wallet, because you never know, and my Vaseline lip balm, because priorities, obviously. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, but like, that's pretty much all I need to survive.
What if you don't? So what you mentioned is, so 2 of the 3 maybe all 3 are for like utilitarian purposes, right? You can actually use them. What about like more things to keep you company?
Like what?
Like, for example, if it was me, I would probably bring this brush. So this is sort of like my teddy bear.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is sort of like my teddy bear.
It's very soft.
Yeah, I've had it since 5th grade. And it has like an emotional like attachment to it. You know?
Oh my god. It's very soft, it's very nice, and like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Thank you. Yeah. So I will probably bring this because like it keeps me calm, and like if I can't sleep at night, I rub it all. So like, are there any items where you can do this?
I don't think so. I don't think like, I'm very attached to all my items. Like they're really personal and really, just like for me and stuff. But I guess if only 3, I would have picked some stuff that will make me even more safe and stuff.
I see.
Even though like yours also makes you safe in a way. But,
yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
And approaching our last question of the day, how do you wish to be perceived?
I think I want to be memorable.
Memorable.
Yeah.
So first impressions.
Nothing really. Yeah.
Okay, could you explain why you have this like wish?
Like, I guess it's just like the idea that of knowing that someone is gonna remember being with whatever. It doesn't have to be like for a huge cause or for a huge thing, like just for existing there or like for thing. I think it makes me feels good that, you know, I really made something, or like I really had a sort of importance in this relationship, like with a certain person or something. So
being memorable. I think that's a very deep answer. I think if you think about it, that's what, again, going back to creatives, right? It's what every creative wants.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Authors write books to make a note in this world.
Yeah.
Architects, they build lasting things that would like stay there long after their deaths. Like right now, we see like old churches and chapels and everything. We won't know like who built them, but they're there. They're like a testament to their existence.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, being memorable. I think that is the core part of the human condition, is the struggle of trying to make oneself memorable.
Yeah.
To an individual, to the future, and to like people who don't know you.
That's
I think you could
pretty much
separate
it, yeah.
like people generally into those things. Very good. Very good. That would unfortunately conclude this interview.
Oh, thank you for having me.
That's a very nice topic.